Amara was not just admired for her beauty, but also for her grace and strength. At over 6 feet tall, she carried herself with an elegance that made her stand out in any crowd. From a young age, she was known for her kindness and intelligence, qualities that only deepened as she grew older. Her reputation for fairness and dedication made her a natural leader in her community. When Amara met Chief Okoye in college, it was as though fate had brought two kindred spirits together. Chief Okoye was known for his charisma and ambition. He had a knack for business and a vision for success that many found inspiring. Their meeting was serendipitous, a chance encounter at a university debate that sparked a connection neither could ignore. They began dating, and their relationship was a whirlwind of romance and shared dreams. They would spend hours walking around the campus, talking about their hopes for the future. Chief Okoye admired Amara's intellect and her unwavering determination to succeed. Amara was equally captivated by his drive and his ability to make her laugh, even on the toughest days. 3 years of courtship led to a beautiful wedding, a celebration of their love surrounded by family and friends. Their marriage was the talk of the town, a perfect union of two admired individuals. They moved into a grand home, symbolizing the beginning of a life filled with promise. Amara and Chief Okoye were blessed with 3 daughters, each one bringing more joy into their lives. They named their daughters Amanda, Neoma, and Chidinma. The family dynamic was vibrant and full of love. They did everything together, from attending church services to hosting gatherings that brought their community closer. Chief Okoye's business flourished, and Amara's ventures were equally successful. She managed several boutiques that became popular due to her keen eye for fashion and her business acumen. Together, they were a formidable team, balancing their careers while providing a nurturing environment for their children. They were the epitome of a happy family, often seen playing games in their expansive garden or enjoying movie nights at home. Vacations were a time for adventure, exploring new places, and creating lasting memories. Chief Okoye would often tell their daughters stories of bravery and wisdom, while Amara instilled in them the values of kindness and perseverance. The community admired them not just for their success, but for their generosity and willingness to help others. Amara and Chief Okoye were known for their charitable works, supporting local schools and sponsoring events that brought joy to those in need. Their home was always open to friends and family, a place of warmth and hospitality. However, their idyllic life was shattered one fateful day. Chief Okoye was involved in a fatal car accident that took his life instantly. The news came as a devastating blow to Amara and her daughters. Their once vibrant home was plunged into grief, the laughter replaced by the sound of sobs and the silence of mourning. The community rallied around them, offering support and condolences. Amara was in shock, struggling to come to terms with the loss of her beloved husband. She had to stay strong for her daughters, who were heartbroken and confused. The future seemed uncertain, and the once bright days were now clouded with sorrow. As Amara and her daughters began to navigate their new reality, Chief Okoye's brother, Chief Ogbuefi, saw an opportunity. Ogbuefi was known for his ambition, but few knew of his true nature, one marked by greed and a lack of scruples. He had always envied his brother's success and saw his death as a chance to claim what he believed should have been his. In the weeks following Chief Okoye's death, Ogbuefi wasted no time. He used forged documents to transfer ownership of Chief Okoye's businesses and properties to himself. He exploited legal loopholes and paid off officials to ensure his claims went uncontested. Amara, still in mourning and overwhelmed with grief, was in no position to fight back immediately. One morning, Amara was served with eviction notices and documents declaring the transfer of ownership. She was stunned and confused. She approached the family lawyer, only to learn that Ogbuefi had already secured the legal rights to her husband's empire. The realization of Ogbuefi's betrayal was a devastating blow. The man who should have been a pillar of support in their time of need had turned into their biggest adversary. Ogbuefi's actions were cold and calculated. He moved into their family home, claiming it as his own. Amara and her daughters were forced to leave, taking only what they could carry. The home that had once been filled with laughter and love now belonged to the man responsible for their suffering. The businesses that Amara and Chief Okoye had worked so hard to build were now under Ogbuefi's control. He stripped them of their assets and sold off what he could for quick profit. Employees loyal to Chief Okoye were fired or forced to leave, and the companies began to decline under Ogbuefi's mismanagement. Amara, now homeless and without a source of income, faced an uncertain future. She moved her daughters into a small rundown apartment, a stark contrast to the luxurious home they had known. The adjustment was difficult for everyone. They had gone from a life of comfort and security to one of struggle and hardship. Determined to provide for her daughters, Amara took on multiple jobs. She worked as a cleaner, a shop assistant, and took on any other work she could find. The once successful businesswoman now worked long hours, often coming home exhausted but still managing to spend time with her daughters. Her beauty and grace remained, but there was a new hardness in her eyes, a determination to overcome whatever obstacles came their way. Despite the challenges, Amara never lost hope. She taught her daughters the value of hard work and perseverance. They grew up witnessing their mother's strength and resilience, traits that would shape them into strong and independent women. Amanda, Neoma, and Chidinma excelled in school and supported their mother as best as they could. Chief Ogbuefi's despicable actions didn't end with the seizure of properties. He tried to manipulate Amara further, preying on her desperate situation. He approached her with an offer, a small allowance to support her family in exchange for a night with him. The proposition was vile, an insult to Amara's dignity and honor. Horrified and disgusted, Amara refused. She would rather face hardship than surrender to such a demeaning demand. The refusal only fueled her determination to provide for her daughters through honest means. She continued working multiple jobs, often at the cost of her own health and well-being. As the years passed, the burden of her struggles began to take a toll on Amara. She developed health issues due to the relentless workload and constant stress. Despite her physical ailments, she remained steadfast in her commitment to her daughters. Her beauty, though weathered by hardship, still shone with an inner strength that inspired those around her. The bond between Amara and her daughters grew stronger. They learned to support one another, forming a close-knit family unit. They often reminisced about the happy times they had shared with Chief Okoye, using those memories as a source of strength and motivation. Amara never spoke ill of Ogbuefi in front of her daughters, choosing instead to focus on positive values and resilience. In their small apartment, Amara and her daughters created a new home filled with love and hope. They celebrated small victories, from academic achievements to personal milestones. Each success was a testament to their collective effort and determination to overcome adversity. Despite the hardships, Amara remained active in her community. She volunteered at local charities and continued to support those in need. Her reputation for kindness and fairness endured, and she became a beacon of hope for others facing similar struggles. People admired her resilience and her ability to maintain her dignity in the face of such overwhelming challenges. As Amanda, Neoma, and Chidinma grew older, they began to contribute more to the household. They took on part-time jobs and excelled in their studies, determined to make their mother proud. Amara's sacrifices were not in vain. Her daughters were thriving despite the circumstances, each one embodying the strength and resilience she had instilled in them. Years passed and Amara's daughters moved out, starting their own families and careers. Amara never forgot Chief Okoye and often wondered what their life would have been like if he had not died. One day, she was shocked to find Chief Okoye at her door, pleading for forgiveness. Overcome with shock, she fainted. When she regained consciousness, he revealed that he had faked his death to escape the pressures of his business and family life. He had been living with his mistress, who had claimed to be pregnant with his child. The baby died during delivery, and their relationship fell apart. Now, Chief Okoye sought redemption and a second chance. Amara was torn between her love for him and the pain of his betrayal. She questioned whether to take him back or protect herself and her daughters from further pain. Reflecting on their past, she remembered both the good times and the pain he caused. Unsure of what to do, Amara sought advice from friends and family. Amara decided to seek advice from her closest friend, Cynthia, and her mother. She needed their wisdom to navigate the difficult decision ahead. She invited Cynthia over for tea one afternoon, hoping to find clarity in their conversation. "Cynthia, I'm at a loss," Amara began, her voice trembling. "Chief Okoye is back. He says he faked his death to escape the pressures of his life. I don't know what to do." Cynthia's eyes widened in shock. "What? How could he do such a thing? Have you spoken to him about why he left?" Amara nodded, tears brimming in her eyes. "He said he was in debt and didn't want to burden us with his problems. He didn't know how to face us, so he chose to disappear." Cynthia shook her head in disbelief. "Amara, that's unbelievable. He left you and the girls to fend for yourselves. You struggled so much. How can he expect you to just forgive and forget?" Amara sighed, wiping away her tears. "I don't know if I can, Cynthia, but part of me still loves him, despite everything. I don't know what to do." Cynthia reached out and held Amara's hand. "You have to think about what's best for you and the girls. This is a huge betrayal. You need to decide if you can truly forgive him and if he's worth that trust again." Amara nodded, feeling a bit more grounded, but still unsure. "I need to talk to my mother too. She always has a way of seeing things clearly." That evening, Amara visited her mother. The elder woman welcomed her daughter with open arms, sensing her turmoil. "Amara, my dear, what's troubling you?" her mother asked, guiding her to the sofa. "Mom, Chief Okoye is back," Amara said, struggling to keep her voice steady. "He faked his death. He said he was in debt and didn't want to burden us." Her mother's eyes softened with understanding. "Oh, my child, that must have been such a shock. What are you thinking of doing?" Amara took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her mother's gaze. "I don't know if I can forgive him, but I don't want to hold on to bitterness either. What should I do?" Her mother took her hands in hers, speaking gently. "Forgiveness is not about him. It's about you finding peace. You don't have to take him back to forgive him. Think about what will bring you and your daughters true happiness and peace. Remember, forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or condoning what he did. It's about freeing yourself from the pain." Amara nodded, feeling a sense of clarity. "Thank you, Mom. I think I understand now. I need to find a way to forgive him for my own sake, but it doesn't mean I have to let him back into our lives." Her mother smiled, proud of her daughter's strength. "You are a remarkable woman, Amara. You will make the right choice for yourself and your family." One evening, as Amara was sorting through old letters and photos, she came across an envelope she didn't recognize. The letter was from Chief Okoye's mistress, the woman he had left her for. With trembling hands, Amara opened it and began to read. "Dear Amara, I know this letter may come as a shock to you, but I feel it's time you knew the truth. Your husband, Chief Okoye, left you because you couldn't give him a male child. He was desperate for a son to carry on his name and legacy, and I promised him that I was pregnant with a boy. I know this may be hard for you to accept, but I'm not sorry for my actions. I love Chief Okoye with all my heart, and I would do anything to make him happy. And if that meant taking him away from you, then so be it. You see, Amara, Chief Okoye was never happy in your marriage. He felt trapped and suffocated by your inability to give him a son, and I offered him a way out, a chance to start anew and have the family he always wanted. I know you may think me cruel and heartless, but I'm just a woman who loves deeply and unconditionally. And if that means hurting others, then so be it. Yours sincerely, the mistress." As Amara read the letter, a wave of emotions crashed over her. She felt anger, betrayal, and hurt all over again. The revelation that Chief Okoye had left her because she couldn't give him a male child was a blow to her self-worth and the love she had believed in. The letter confirmed her worst fears about his character and intentions. Amara sat in her living room, surrounded by memories of their marriage, feeling the weight of the years she had dedicated to loving and supporting Chief Okoye. She realized that she had been living a lie, that the man she had thought she knew and loved was capable of such betrayal. Determined to find closure and move forward, Amara decided to meet with Chief Okoye one last time. She called him and asked him to come by the house. When he arrived, she opened the door with a heavy heart. There he stood, looking remorseful and hopeful for a chance to make amends. "Chief Okoye," she began, her voice firm but calm, "I received a letter from your mistress. She told me the truth about why you left." Chief Okoye's face paled as he realized the depth of his betrayal had been fully exposed. He tried to speak, but Amara held up her hand to stop him. "I forgive you," she continued, "but I don't want you back in my life. I need to protect myself and our daughters from further pain. We've come a long way without you, and I believe we can continue to thrive." Chief Okoye hung his head, tears streaming down his face. "I understand, Amara. I'm so sorry for everything. I truly regret my actions, but I respect your decision. I just hope one day you and the girls can find it in your hearts to forgive me." Amara nodded, feeling a sense of closure. "We will find our own way to heal. Goodbye, Chief Okoye." With that, she closed the door. A weight lifted off her shoulders. Amara knew the path ahead would still have its challenges, but she also knew that she and her daughters were strong enough to face them together.